There's a reason why God lets some people get away with things. And it's probably not what you think.
I believe I saw this post on TikTok about a week ago, and I've been meaning to share it, but I kept forgetting. So I want to share it with you today, and I want your thoughts on it. So before we watch the rest of the clip to listen to what he has to say, do me a favor, like this video, hype this video, subscribe to this channel, shop at CorgineHair.com. It is Buy Black Month because it's August, and if you want to support a Black-owned business, feel free to support me. CorgineHair.com, and turn on your notifications so that you know when I jump on. Now let's listen to what he has to say, and I may stop it a little bit just for fair use of the video. Let's go.
I used to think that God was punishing me until I realized he was actually parenting me. Everybody can do it, but not everybody can get away with it. They barely get a warning, but my life just falls apart. Think about it this way. Your child's friend comes over to your house and they start jumping around on your couch with their dirty shoes on. Who's getting in trouble the worst? Your child. Why? Because they know better. Now the other kid, you might give them a warning or call their parents or whatever the case may be, but your child is going to get disciplined. See, I love the Bible because it captures how we really feel. In the book of Psalms, it said, I envied the arrogant because I saw the prosperity of the wicked. God, we did the same exact thing. But why does it seem like they have it easier than I do when they clearly stated that they don't even believe in it? His response hit me just like this. He said, I don't touch other people's kids. And that's not rejection. That's relationship. Unanswered sin is not approved sin. God doesn't correct everybody. He corrects his children. And the closer you are to God, the higher the standards become. Society calls that bad luck, but God calls it discipline. In the book of Hebrews, it says, do not make light of the Lord's discipline, and do not lose heart when, not if, when he rebukes you. Because the Lord disciplines the one he loves, and he chastens everyone he accepts as his son. Let's go deeper. A few verses down, it says, God is treating you as his children. For what children are not disciplined by their father? Let's go a little further down. It says, no discipline seems pleasant at the time, but painful. Later on, however, it produces a harvest of righteousness and a peace for those who have been trained by it. So maybe God isn't harder on you because he hates you. Maybe he's harder on you because he claimed you. Jonah ran and still got swallowed by a whale. Why? Because when God puts his hand on you, he doesn't just let you run like everybody else. Some people are getting away with it, but you're being rescued from it. Some people are being left alone, and you're being loved too much to be left alone. Don't envy people God hasn't interrupted. Delayed judgment is not favor. The scariest thing that God can ever do is stop correcting you. So every time you want to run out there in the world, have your fun, and God pulls out that belt, bring you right on back in, stop calling it punishment and call it proof. Proof that you are still his child. Because a father doesn't chase every child in the neighborhood with that same exact aggression. He only does that for his own. So again, stop comparing God's correction for you to someone else's comfort. The greatest evidence that you're God's child isn't that life is easy. It's that every time you start running away or acting up, your father comes after you.
I think having the window open made me sneeze. Don't tell my husband. He will be livid that I have the window open and the AC running. But the door is closed. See, it get cold in this room and I need a little bit of heat. Okay, so anyway, I wanted to share this message with you because you might not catch the reels that I put up, the shorts, and there are a lot of encouraging messages on there as well as my posts. But I feel like sometimes people aren't seeing them, or as many people, because I'm getting a lot of feedback like I need more positivity. And I'm like, are you not watching the reels and seeing my posts? So I said, let me make this into a long form piece of content, especially since he spoke for almost 3 minutes. And I know I said I was going to stop it in the middle, but the message was just too good for me to hop in the middle due to fair use and then hop back out. I wanted you to hear the whole thing. Everybody is going through something. And you might be going through something right now and needed that word, because there's a lot of times when we talk to God, or at least let me talk about myself. Okay, there have been some times where I have spoken to the Lord and felt like what I was praying fell on deaf ears. And so I've heard people or read in the comments section where people say they have experienced the same thing. And I believe that God always hears us. And he always answers. And sometimes those answers are no, not yet, and yes. And when we don't realize that he's given us the no, we continue to ask to the Lord, say, go ahead, because I done told you now. And sometimes we don't realize that he's giving us the not yet. So we're pressuring him. I should be here at this time by this age. And the Lord is like, I didn't tell you you was gonna be rich by the time you got 50. I didn't tell you you was going to have kids by the time you were 25 and you was going to be married with a white picket fence. That's us telling ourselves that. And we want God to back up the plans that we have for our life and forget about the plans that he has for our life. And so we get discouraged and we start doubting God and feeling like he's not there. But he's always there. He's always been there. You get what I'm saying, right? And I just wanted to encourage you. And plus encourage myself. There's a lot of things that are going on right now and with my parents. And I haven't talked about it because God forbid if I say something about it, people will swear up and down I'm looking for attention. If you saw the video of the homeless man that I recorded 2 years ago, okay, looking like a hot mess, and everybody thought I put it on the internet for attention, I'm like, woo, y'all need to sit down and get to know me. Because anybody who truly knows me knows that I do not want to be recorded or photographed looking a hot mess. But that day, I didn't care how I looked. But you get these people throwing scriptures in your face. How do we know what people did in the Bible if you can't let nobody know? It's about motives. And I know I'm going and changing the subject, but I need to say this because sometimes I need people to understand what the context of things mean. When I put out something, or I put out that particular video of the homeless guy, which his name is David, by the way, my motive was not to get attention and for everybody to be like, oh my God, oh my God. If I were looking for attention, I would have mentioned that my mother is battling stage 3 breast cancer. I haven't said anything, and I've known since April. Because I understand that when you put out stuff on the internet, it goes everywhere, and it does allow everybody to have an opinion. And I get that. If I were looking for attention, I would have been said, hey, my father is in the early stages of dementia. My father will be 88 this year. I am very, very, very blessed to have my father at this age that he is, because none of my grandparents made it to his age. So I'm not looking for attention. I was looking to share a story with my community that made me emotional. But I get the walk that I'm on, and this walk that I'm on is not always going to be the way I want it to be or look the way I want it to look. And with that said, that's the same thing for your journey. It's not always going to look the way you want it to look. So no matter how much you plan, and I'm not saying don't plan, because I believe that if you don't plan, you plan to fail. But no matter how much you plan, if it is not in the Lord's will, it is not going to be the way you planned it. So don't think that God does not love you. Don't think that God is letting all of the bad stuff happen to you. Every obstacle that you go through, every trial, every tribulation is there to teach you something. And I believe that when I'm on this app and people start getting on my nerves, it's to teach me something. And a lot of it is about patience and response. And so I think that's a good lesson for me to learn, because I definitely have been wanting to work on those things and prayed about them. So I thank everybody who's teaching it to me, even the ones that I had to delete their comment and block them. Anyway, I'm done with this video. Let me know what you think about this whole video in the comments below, because that's what I'm here for.